So whether you grow soybeans or strawberries, membership means you'll be heard. Become a member today at IMFB.org.
You're listening to CBS Sports Radio. We are all sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Strong opinions, great guests, and your phone calls. Expect it here. CBS Sports Radio. Live from Southern California, this is the Jim Rome Show. Smackoff 29 on CBS Sports Radio.
Oh, yeah. 29 years in, and I get goosebumps every single time I hear that. What's cracking? Welcome to the program. Smackoff 29. We did it. We did it, Alvin. I'll take that techie out right now. Yeah, Bob O'Reilly's never sounded better. I'm not kidding. It has never sounded cleaner. It has never sounded better. We did do it. We made it. You hear Bob O'Reilly bumping, and you know exactly what time it is. It is time for Smackoff 29. Smackoff 29. All hell is about to break loose, and I am hyped. I'm fired up. That number 29 really hit me hard. It hit me hard this morning. I feel so good, and I am so hyped. In less than 3 hours, we are going to name the next king or queen of smack right here in the jungle, a.k.a. the very best caller among the very best callers in all of sports talk radio. And the anticipation has never been higher than it is right now. And I'll tell you something else. Unlike last year, I know we're coming out of the gates quickly. I know it. Unlike last year, I know our number one is going to kill. How do I know that? It's the energy. I feel the energy. It feels amazing. There is no fear in the air. No fear today. Only monsters, only alphas coming in for the Smackoff strap and the 5 GER that comes along with it. Remember, 5 GER to the winner. Nothing to the runner-up. Even less if you come in third. I love everything about it. Now, very quickly, before we start, I did run down the basic main event guidelines yesterday, but I want to hit them again very quickly before the chaos ensues. Remember, this is an invite-only event. If you do not have an invite, don't call. You're not getting on the air. Even if you have an invite, you might not get on the air. But if you do not have an invite, do not call. However, even if you're not invited, you're still all obligated to participate. I still need all of you in this thing, participating. Tweet me at Jim Rome. Find me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Send me an email at rome@haveatake.com. And then slap the hashtag Smackoff on absolutely everything. It's easy.
Smackoff.
That's it. It's easy. Hashtag Smackoff. Now, I know Twitter is a messed up, miserable hellscape that barely even works anymore. What do you say we just try to break it all together? Get this thing trending. It was earlier this morning. Hashtag Smackoff. Anything that you say on Twitter, just hashtag it Smackoff. Tweet like that. Tweet like that's all you have to worry about over the next 3 hours. Because you know what? Over the next 3 hours, that's all you have to worry about. As for the participants, most of you have done this before. Most of you know the drill. Get in early. Also, secure the best possible phone connection that you can. Believe me, you do not want all your hard work, all your prep, your best call ever ruined because your phone craps out. Because if your phone craps out, you will get run. And yes, you can get run today. If you fail to keep it moving, or if you cross the line, or if you have a horrible phone connection, LV will drop the hammer right on your head. It can happen. It has happened. In fact, I bet it does happen today. You've been warned. This brings us, it happens to us all. This brings us to the all-important main event rules. There are not many. They are very simple. Number one, the left rule. No storming the studio. You cannot come anywhere near the box. If you do, you are automatically DQ'd. The only other rule, I make the rules. My judgment is final. Period. I will decide who gets the strap and the 5 gur. And then I will announce that decision during the final segment of the show. And then we will have a new king or queen of Smack. Unless Caleb runs it back. Unless Caleb can defend his crown and go back to back. That's what we're about to find out. That's what we'll find out today. So, what do you say we find out? It's finally here. After all of Smackoff season, the time has come. Let's hit the phones. It's go time. Remember, get it going on Twitter. Hashtag everything Smackoff. I'm hyped. Tommy, XR4TI, are you ready? Let's get it. We're going to start off. I'm always curious to see, and I said this. I told you I felt good about hour number 1. I felt like the energy was different this year. Hour 1 would not suck. First up, batting leadoff, looking to wire the field. A jungle powerhouse. He has hit the top 10 in 10 of his 11 main events. He won it all in 2013. He is here today for one reason, to go wire to wire and rip his second strap. Appearing in his 12th Smackoff, we go up the road to Hollywood. We go to Mark in Hollywood. Mark, what's going on?
I'm free in the multiverse, Jim. Let's get it on. Yo, first of all, Abby's apparatus should have gotten a golden ticket yesterday. Don't know what the hell happened there. But along those lines, I got to shout out all the watch parties, except for that practitioner of rat finkism Dave at the Lorelei Inn in Wisco, who hosts the champ and another contestant, yet stabbed both of them in the back by picking Jeff in Richmond, and then walked it back like a scared coward. How's that grab you, Benny? First, Aaron Rodgers gives you the middle finger as he hallucinates his way out of town, and then your hometown bar bohicas your ass. You know, maybe the Lorelei is pulling Philly fan reverse psychology, right? Like when we booed Mike Schmidt to, quote, make him better. Kind of like an overserved Jim Rome wearing a winter coat in 80-degree weather at a baseball game and pumping up Rogan by yelling out jungle Tourette's drops. And speaking of interesting dads, now that Mark and Boston's daddy, Tom Brady, quit football and broadcasting seamlessly, I'm wondering if fellow Michigan man Mark is depressingly spending his days holed up in various Dunkin' Donut bathrooms down Dorchester, free-basing clam chowder, while Salty Sarah gives him a Boston special. That's when you're in the middle of wrestling with a Boston chick and she pukes up Guinness Lager right in your face. But yeah, now that Jeff in Richmond is somehow the sexy pick this year, I can only imagine how shook his shorter, slower doppelganger Rick in Buffalo is feeling. Hey, Goiterhead, since you basically stole Jeff's shtick, you may as well do a tandem call with the guy. You know, that would be like listening to the Kelsey Brothers podcast if the Kelsey Bros were podcasting whilst in concussion protocol. I mean, let's be clear. Jeff is basically the white fat Albert of this thing. And not just because he's amorphously obese, but because Bill Cosby provided the voice of Fat Albert. And we all know Cosby and Jeff have the same off-the-court hobbies if you see me working. Now, Jim, in 2013, 10 years ago, I won the Smackoff with the help from Siri. So to celebrate the anniversary, I thought, you know, why not bring her back, see how she's been doing? So let me put the speaker up to the phone and... Siri, how you been doing for the last 10 years?
It's been a great 10 years, but thanks for ruining it.
Someone's cranky. Siri, you sound a little younger.
Well, I've had a little work done. Well, it's me running. Check.
Jim. Sorry, Jim. This is kind of embarrassing. Let me re-rack this thing. Just give me like 2 seconds here and.
Hold up, Mark. Forget Siri. You got Broadway Vic to get your back.
Wait, Vic and NoCal? Is that really you? Shouldn't you be getting ready for your own call?
Well, there's no way an illiterate jackwagon like me can beat you, so if you can't beat him, join him.
Oh, come on, bro. Don't be so hard on yourself. You got a shot at this thing.
Well, I guess if I had your looks, your talent, your game, and just your overall confidence, maybe I could make something of my miserable life.
True. But why not start with something small? Like instead of rehashing old, tired 80s movie references, why not finally bring your smack into the 21st century?
The 21st century. Like when Marty McFly went to the future and Back to the Future too. God, I hate this guy.
Wait, Brad and Corona?
How you doing, bud?
Wait, are you also throwing in the towel early and giving me the chip?
I just want to speed up the process of your life, Mark, okay? You're taking too long the way this thing's going.
Dude, you've won this thing 6 times. Why not just make a call?
Because unlike me when I'm selling my ass on the streets of Corona, you got this thing wrapped up.
You're really proud of that wrapped up blast, aren't you?
Put that on a banana hammock.
Now, look, Jim, I'm sorry. I made these guys drop out, but we can still have an event here.
Hey, Jimmy, why don't you just crown Mark's ass and get it over with?
Oh, crap. Lef?
You know what, baby? The Laguna Beach Bag is officially endorsing you as the new king of smack.
So you're not going to call either?
Nah, I'm currently stumbling around John Wayne Airport, drunk out of my mind and looking for a loose trim.
Classy, bro.
Those upskirt pictures aren't going to take themselves, Mark.
No.
Every day is dong day, baby.
No, it's not. That was yesterday.
Mark, can I ask a question?
Walrus. Is that you, champ?
Yeah, it's Caleb, the former champ. After you take the crown back, and I drown my sorrows in chocolate syrup and chicken grease.
Very descriptive. All right, Caleb, what's your question?
What does loose trim mean?
Why do you need to know what loose trim means? You are a notorious non-sex haver.
Well, my mom keeps saying that if I don't use it, I'll lose it, which may explain why I haven't seen it in years.
Okay, Caleb, walk over to a mirror, lift up your big belly, and look down.
Oh, there it is.
Happy to help.
Gosh darn it, I lost it again.
Wow. So if you guys aren't going to call, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? Brad?
I'm going to have what we call up here Corona caviar.
What's Corona caviar?
Black tar heroin, Mark. Black tar heroin.
That tracks. Vic?
I think I'll ask out Bella B.
Well, she loves when you toss smack. Lef, what are you doing?
I'm actually being arrested by airport security, so could you call my wife and tell her that it happened again?
Poor woman. And Caleb, what do you got going on?
I'm going to eat the Lorelei.
Oh, nice. You're going to have a meal at the Lorelei.
No, I'm going to actually eat the whole bar for picking against me.
Don't blame you. So are you guys done? Because I'm about to wrap this bad boy up.
You better don't.
No, oh hell no, Mike. This is for people with a full strap, not a half. Now, in closing, Jim, predictably, every single person that calls you after is going to say a version of the following 3 things. 1, the other guys were the best part of Mark's call. Yes, they were the best part of my call because they were all praising me. 2, oh, you didn't put me in your call, Mark. You must be scared of me. Yeah, I am scared of you because you are serial ass. And I can't make you look good. And number 3, I Afraidy and callers like him are going to say, I don't need gimmicks for my call. Yeah, because your whole Smackoff persona is a gimmick. You don't need what you have an abundance of, suckers. So in the immortal words of Jay-Z, yeah, I sampled your voice because you was using it wrong. You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. Vic, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Brad.
Nah.
Lef.
Yeah.
Caleb, that's you.
Sorry, I just found my penis again, and now I'm playing with it.
Yeah.
And he's out.
Wow. Go ahead. Start sending me the it's over, shut it down, let's go home. I would never say that, but damn, Mark. Damn. That was clever. That was smart. This is what it takes on this day. Did I? Nobody likes I told you so. But did I tell you I felt the energy? The energy of our number 1. Look at the former champ. Holy crap. I would never call him a gimmicky little bitch. Hey, say what you want about gimmicks. That was clever. Get up in here. Hit me up on Twitter. Mark, you're even into my own phone. You're even into my phone, Mark. Get up in here. Hit me on Twitter. What do you make of that phone call? Hashtag it Smackoff. At Jim Rome on Twitter. Email me at Rome, ROME at habitate.com. I've always said that about that guy, man. That dude is different. That dude is sharp. He's clever. He's smart. We'll see. Could he wire the field with that call? I can't wait to find out. What do we do? Do we keep moving or do we go to a break? Let's get somebody else in here. Nice job, Mark. Way to go. Right now, we go to our second participant. This is Smackoff 29, if you need us. So far, so awesome. This guy is known for living on the edge and crossing the line and non-stop cracks about Alvy's sex life. He finished an impressive 8th in his debut, which was last year. He is back for more. It took him a while to get back in, but he did get back in the 12th hour. It's James in Portland. James, my man.
And Alvy, I wanted to go first today because, like you, I hate leftovers. And Mark, your call was just like your acting career. You needed help. And oh man, Jim, I'm so full. I made the mistake before the smack off this morning, and I went to Ike's and ordered the 69, the Alvin DeLoro, which of course I thought was just going to be some steaming, piping hot, open-faced roast beef sandwich. But no, Jim, it wasn't even a sandwich. It was a cup of clam chowder and a hot dog. And before I put the other clones on blast and show out Alvin, I said the word blast, I want to start and give props to the XR4 Ti, starting with the new guy, Jack Savage. And of course, we all think Jackson porn because of his name, but this guy's not even old enough to watch porn, let alone if any member of the XR4 Ti is starring porn. My money's on the New England quarter horse in the black glasses. Oh, and then we got the big head, who decided to grace us with his presence today. We all call this day the smack off, while James Kelly calls it the longest working day of his life. You know, seriously, big head, you get 10 minutes of work done every day because you're too busy being chased by Jeff Bezos and some flying metal space penis trying to land on the front end of the moon, known as your forehead. Seriously, how jealous is Alvin, though? Your nickname's the Big Head. And then we have Alvin DeLoro, who I do just personally like to thank for giving me this amazing sexual content to cash a check for $5,000. And to you, Jim, Mr. Rome, I hope you would show up today, full buttons down, showing off that tan chest, because while I'm getting off on my smack-off call, my lady is just getting off. So I'm going to call my shot today and go after the two legends, that, of course, being Brad in Corona and Left in Laguna, who I ask, can you stop treating the jungle like your sex lives and only doing it once a year? And I mean, I know the two of you are locked up in some bathroom right now playing a wicked game of pee-pee lightsabers, but you guys are as consistent as James Kelly saying the word diarrhea. Well, I'm as consistent as Alvin DeLoro showing a positive result on every pregnancy test he's taken for the last 40 years of his life. Now on to other clones, and I'm going to say this, Jim, I don't even have to go there, man. Hell, I got more golden tickets than Willy Wonka. And for all you haters on Twitter, and for anyone that's ever called this show in the last 30 years, none of you have my consistency. Because I do this daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And for all you clones to see clearly that I'm down with a capital JIP, so why don't you hack together around and listen to me? I'll make a killing. I stack golden tickets to the ceiling like that because I'm the ruthless clone villain. War Terrence, come on!
James in Portland. I doubt that that's going to win. I mean, maybe it's too soon to say, but I do love the way you punctuate your calls. James, I told you he'd make it better. That might have been your best call ever. It was certainly your longest call ever. Hey, Alvin, what's the end of that phone call sound like? Dodger Jano is already grading the Smackoff from Wisconsin. All right, so we're 2 calls in. Already, the first hour is 100 times better than the first hour last year. Off to a great start. We've already heard from a former champ who came in really creatively. James in Portland. There's something to know about this. James in Portland gets run every single time he calls, but not during the Smackoff. Even he knew. And he still took chances. Remember, you can get run during the Smackoff. If you do something reckless, if you go over the line, you will get run. And ending your call like that is almost reason to get run. All right, when we come back, we continue. I love the start. Smackoff 29 here in SoCal. Nothing but monsters and alphas. Listen, hit me up on Twitter at Jim Rome. Everything that you tweet, hashtag Smackoff. I'll retweet the best. I'll even read some on the air if I can. Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it. The price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years now and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. To get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation, simply call Wesley right now for your timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333, 800-462-3333. Again, 800-462-3333.
You're listening to The Jim Rome Show. Facebook.com/CBS Sports Radio.
45 seconds remaining.
Stop overpaying for gas. With gas prices as high as they are, you need the free Upside app. Use my limited promo code ROME, R-O-M-E, right now to cash back. Get cash back on every gallon of gas that you buy. That's right, you can earn real cash back on something you already do every day. Just download the free Upside app right now. Do not forget to use my promo code ROME, R-O-M-E, for your limited bonus of 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. That is Rome. All right, so the reaction is tremendous. Many of you are calling that the first or the best first call ever. And if the hardest thing ever is to wire the field, then Mark in Hollywood may have done it. Hey, I don't know, maybe we'll finish the competition, but it was an amazing first call. Even James in Portland is getting some positive run. Van Sizzle, I can't believe I'm saying this, but War James in Portland signed that gross sound drop. And a lot more of that came from. Again, if you're on Twitter, at Jim Rome, hashtag it Smackoff. All right, back to it. Right now, nobody enjoyed a better or bigger Smackoff season than this man. It has been 21 years since his win in Smackoff number 8. I'm not sure he's ever been hungrier for another strap. Entering the ring in his 9th main event and blowing into hour 1, riding a wave of momentum. It is the dirtiest player in the game. He's here. It's Jeff from Richmond. Jeff, what's going on?
Jim, thanks for the vine, and thanks for the time. And Jim, the date was April 19th, 2002, Jim, when the dirtiest player in the game, Jim, Jeff from Richmond, captured his first of what will be many Smackoff titles, Jim. And I generally don't like to date myself, Jim, but at that time, there was no Google, there was no Facebook, and Jim, a tweet was something that the late, great news journalist Barbara Walters gave to her pet poodle every night before bed. Jim, fast forward 20 years, the morally bankrupt clones are blowing me up and adding me on social media. Jim, they're all asking the same question. How does Jeff from Richmond prepare? How does he prepare for the great American Smackoff? Jim, let me give you a quick peek behind the velvet curtain, Jim. For the last 30 minutes, Jim, I've been Conor McGregoring around my exclusive private office. Jim, my elbows are spread wide. My arms are flapping back and forth. Jim, I'm literally pouring sweat down my face, all over my $3,500 custom-made Armani suit, Jim. I'm ready. Let's do this, Jim. Can we finally put aside, Jim, the topic of the greatest caller in the history of the jungle? The greatest caller, Jim, in the history of the Jim Rome Show is Terrence from Sierra Madre, period, Exclamation point. End of story. Jim, the second best caller in the history of the jungle is Sean the Cablinasian. You remember, Jim, in his prime, Sean was as close to automatic as they come. And at that time, Jim, Sean had endorsement deals with high-end restaurants, sports bars, and liquor brands. Jim, Sean's name was literally everywhere, except on a high school diploma. Fast forward 20 years, Jim, Sean is clearly a shell of the man that he once was. He has the body of a cafeteria worker, and my man looks like he's had a stroke on both sides of his face. I know, Jim, that Sean won't stand for what I'm saying about him today, but I don't have to worry about that, Jim, because Big Sean can only stand for a few minutes anyway. Corny joke number one, Jim, what's red and bad for Matt from LA's teeth? A brick. Jim, I'm extremely upset about the PGA Tour Live Golf merger as PGA President Jay Blood Money Monahan sells the collective soul of the PGA Tour for a stack of cash. And Jim, there were widespread allegations of collusion, tampering, and leaking during that negotiation. I'm very upset about it, but Jim, surprisingly, old man Kenny Iafrate is okay with it. That's because Kenny deals with leaking issues, Jim, 3 or 4 times a day. Jim, jungle Tourette's is real. It's wreaking havoc on my personal life. I was out at Starbucks, Jim, with my hype girl, Megan. She accidentally picked up my coffee. How did I respond, Jim? Put that coffee down. Coffee is for closers. Corny joke number 2, Jim. Abby from San Diego recently celebrated her 28th birthday, or as Rick from Buffalo calls her, 15 years too old. Jim, answer me this question. Why does everyone talk in such glowing terms about bread and Corona, the BIC? Jim, to me, he's your typical Cali dude, spray tan, pec implants, veneer slapped to his grill. But I will say this, Jim, I'm happy that Brad has been successful professionally, Jim. Professionally. As a matter of fact, Jim, a lot of the clones tell me that Brad is, quote, rolling in dough, and I'm sure that's the phrase that comes to mind when Brad makes love to his wife. Corny joke number 3, Jim. How about our girl Kathleen from Omaha? Methleen, Jim. We all thought Methleen dwelled on the far left political fringe, Jim, but the Laguna Beach pulley found out the hard way, Jim. Methleen is actually a big Bush fan. Get it, Jim? Big Bush fan. Jim, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about quickly the retirement of the GOAT Tom Brady at the age of 45, Jim. 23 seasons in the NFL, 7 championship rings. Do you realize that's more rings than Nick Cannon has baby mamas? And by the way, Jim, interestingly, Coach Bill Belichick made some comments on Tom Brady's retirement. It sounded something like this. Hey, radio man. I'm the architect, radio man, not Tom Brady. I'm the architect. 8 Lombardis, bitch. I got 8 Lombardis. We're off to Cincinnati. In closing, Jim, in closing, can we stop the storyline on Caleb and Green Bay being such a straight arrow? Jim, everything changed for Caleb when he won the Smackoff. He's getting busy with the ladies, but here's the big news, Jim. Caleb developed his own cologne brand. It's called Green Bay Nights, Jim. You take a little liquid, pour it into a small cloth, and you press it to your date's face. Clones. Who wants to walk with the new King of Smack? And until next time, Jim, good night now.
Jeff in Richmond, the big question was, would he show up or not? And then the next question was, is he going to go away or not? 6 minutes. I mean, Jeff, I like you, bro. Listen, everybody, He gets a little more leeway because it's hour number one. But it's going to get late early. You don't need to go 6 or 7 or 8 minutes to win. A 3-minute call can win this thing. Come with your very best. I know Jeff would say, that was my very best. Pimp. Maybe it will be. We'll find out. But he did call, and that was key. So we've had Mark, we've had James, we've had Jeff. Let's go to the only clone, Lady Clone, repping today. Repping Lady Clone Nation and the great state of Oregon and Portland woman, a valued daily jungle contributor. She's about to check in for her very first Smackoff. It is none other than Amber in Portland. War Lady Clones. Amber, what's going on? How are you?
Thanks for the vine, Romy. It is so great to be in the Great American Smackoff. I'm so happy to be here and representing the Lady Clones. So let me just start by saying a lot of the clones, when I got my golden ticket, were talking about how soft it was. But, you know, I can think of so many things softer than when you gave me that ticket. For example, was it softer than Eric in Castle Rock's pen before he takes a handful of Smurf pills to get nice with a blow-up doll? Was it nicer than or softer than Jeff and Richmond's fupa? Or was it even softer than Caleb's cheese curd mitt? Yeah, I don't think so. So yeah, a lot of people like to refer to me as that phenomenon, Portland woman. Well, by Portland woman, I guess I was born and raised here, so there may actually be some truth to that. I mean, now that it's the summer, well, actually, I even shaved my legs, but only up to the knees. I'm not trying to get too crazy with it. I can still walk on campus at Oregon State University and make Benny the Beaver jealous. So also to stay true to my Portlandia roots, I love to drive my luxury sled, my moped, and I go to local brunch spots just to wait 90 minutes for a table for my kale omelet and brioche French toast. Usually I'll have some leftovers, but I don't really worry about that because it's just going to go on my compost pile when I get home so it can fertilize my garden. So it really is a win-win for me. I mean, also, Portland woman, I did start using a new natural deodorant, and I do think it's just right. I mean, it keeps me smelling as dirty as Johannes looks. And speaking of Johannes, honestly, what's Methleen's deal with him anyhow? I mean, in all honesty, is it deep-seated daddy issues? Is it that she likes dudes who wear more makeup than she does? Or, you know what, I actually think I know. It's the fact that he can afford to do the amount of meth she could only strive to do. But, you know, if Methleen and Johannes ever met, I do, in all honesty, think they would make a great couple. I mean, Methleen looks like Courtney Love in The People versus Larry Flint, but more methy. And Johannes looks like Jared Leto from the Dallas Buyers Club, but with more AIDS. So it really is a match made in trailer trash heaven. You know, Rome, I keep seeing all of these things for the Smackoff and all these people asking, who's going to be the next king of the jungle? The king of the jungle is everywhere. Well, I'm here to say, who needs a king when you can have a queen? All these so-called kings of the jungle, you're just little bitches to me. And if you have an issue with what I just said, you go ahead and put down that White Claw you're sipping on and come talk to me woman to woman. I am so here for it. Speaking of here for it, I am here at our local Portland Smackoff watch party at Northwest Growlers. Thanks so much for hosting. This is amazing. And we were actually supposed to have a jungle celeb here today. He's a longtime Jungle Clone Smackoff participant. He may have shown up. I don't know. But he's actually gone from doing the Smackoff to now doing the pregame and postgame show for our Portland Trailblazers on 750 The Game Rip City Radio. It's the CIP. That's right. It's Chad in Portland. I hope you come out to support Chad. It would be really great to meet you. You know, back in the day, there was a song done about Chad, and I'm going to reset it. It's JD in Nashville.
And you thought the law mean nothing when I'm trying to get to you. I know Michael said it's something. Can I bring magic too? Because I'm Chad. You know it, you know. There's a pervert in the jungle right now, and I tell you once again, it's Chad.
Oh, yeah. And Chuck, I think you rock. War frickin' lady clones, I'm out.
Hey, Amber, War Lady. Crown a new king or queen of the jungle. I told you she'd make it better. I told you. Amber in Portland. Good job, Amber. I'm proud of you. All right, when we come back, we continue with hour number 1. Mark, James, Jeff, and Amber. So far, so good. Hit me up on Twitter. If you've got any reaction, hit me up on Twitter. Hashtag it Smackoff. We'll take this break and we will come right back. It is Smackoff 29. We are live and we are rolling through hour number 1.
Live from Southern California, this is the Jim Rome Show. Smackoff 29 on CBS Sports Radio.
Rolling right through it. Make sure you're scoring at home. Make sure you're hitting us up on Twitter. Hashtag it. Smackoff. Hashtag Smackoff. Find me on Twitter at Jim Rome. Let's get back to it. The next caller is the Jungle Chaos Agent. He has manic energy. He has his share of haters. He has more nicknames for me than any other clone. He is appearing in his first ever Smackoff today. He worked for it. He earned it. We head to Menifee. It is V in the fee. Let me make sure I got the right line. Which line? All right. We go to the fee. Fee, what's going on?
Shaquille O'Neal, it's Smackoff Day, and like the drummer from Def Leppard, I'm feeling all right. It's my first Smackoff. That began advice to everyone saying I should be really respectful and play it safe. So I'll start by saying this. Brad and Lef remind me of Bella Bees and Methylene tampons because they're both stuck-up idiots. Two metrosexual losers who think they're athletes because they're pickleball partners every weekend. And I don't mean the sport. Pickleball is a game they play with each other to get rid of their crap. And what's up with their obsession with dongs? I know you're a watch guy, Jim, but Brad and Lef would only notice your watch if you were standing next to them at the urinal. Freaks. Speaking of freaks, have you seen that squishy-faced A-wife Rick and Buffalo's nose? Forget Coke. This dude has been snorting up crushed-up Viagra's. Good thing no one was trapped in a submersible with his fat-ass nose. He would have been held all 100 hours of the oxygen within the first 10 minutes. Also, Rick and that voice. Isn't it ironic how you hate when everyone does gimmicks? When your own voice and personality is based off a gimmick, you ironic moron. What's really ironic is when that old fart, Iafrati, said he would donate the 5 Gerv to the families of Uvalde, but only if he won. Saying, you only get my help if it's not my money. Real classy, dude. What other fake acts and ability do you brag about? Picking up trash on the side of the freeway, even though you're a court order to? Or how about giving your wife space, even though that restraining order told you to? Hey, Iafrati, you're old and you're an idiot. Speaking of idiots, NBA commission ears, Adam Silver is trying to ruin the NBA season again, trying to prevent load management. A Dumbo wants to have a mid-season tournament, which will include players wearing special different uniforms. Yeah, because that's going to motivate Ben Simmons and Zion Wade a ton. A jersey change. And I think a salary change will motivate them a little more. But don't worry, NBA consumer. They'll sell this tournament garbage like the same way as the playoffs and quickly raise the ticket prices for a quick buck. Our pockets before the players who don't play pockets. Makes a ton of sense. Can't wait, Commissioner Ears. Speaking of wait, hey, Sean, Caleb, and Jeff. Time to die! Now, I know that fat version of Garrett Rich, Shawnee, and those 2 other blimps are going to do some self-deprecating fat jokes to show us it's okay being a fat pig as long as you laugh at yourself. So I'll do the mature thing and insult their intelligence only. Sean, Caleb, and Jeff, you're the only 3 callers whose IQs are lower than your BMIs. And Caleb, you're actually smart. But I'm really sick of Jeff in Richmond and him pretending that he's rich when the only thing lower than his weight is his credit score. I don't know what bounces more, his checks or his chins when he nods yes to another box of donuts. Yes. Jeff, you're not rich. You don't have a BMW. You're just a loser who looks like a BBW. Fat ass. Enough with the fat jokes, though, and back to sports. Hey, Kendrick Porkins, Big Pork, stop telling my Lakers to pursue James Harden. Just because someone comes to LA doesn't mean it'll work. Am I right, Mark in Hollywood? Mark's acting career is like Caleb's sex life because he still hasn't been in anything yet. He also claims to be a writer, which is funny considering how ass his Smackoff scripts are. Mark, as a writer, you're like Joe Paterno before he passed. Old, creepy, and not good with the pen anymore. Stop writing, loser. Everyone's adjusting their scripts right now to make STD jokes about me, so I'll just end my call like this. They're going to say, oh, who is this guy? Never heard of his name before. Well, you should know my name. It's B in the Fee. It's the same name your wife screams out from her bedroom when she makes you sleep on the couch. Damn, Romeo.
I just lit the whole field on fire. So I got to end with an Albie quote. Watch all these bitches come for me. Menifee, out.
Dude, I gotta tell you, my man, V in Menifee. Dude, I was really hopeful and thought you might bring something to it. Dude, I did not know you had that in you. That was dangerous. That was a really good debut call. I'm proud of you, kid. You made me look good. I've always had your back when nobody did. I've always had your back when nobody did. Never again will you hear me refer to you as VD, or venereal disease, or gonorrhea, or syphilis, or the clap, or say that you have crabs. Dude, wow. That a boy. That was dangerous. That was funny. And for the record, sports takes in the middle of it. Actual sports takes in the middle of it. V. Hey, V, if I were you, I would not go spending that money just yet. But, dude, you should be proud. I can already say that. Without real monsters coming in, I think this day will end well for you. One way or another. Either way, I'm happy for you. Good job. That's a good job. All right, I would give the telephone number right here, but those who need it already have it. Let me get you some reaction really quickly. Ending hour number 1. Good first hour. I don't want to keep saying I told you so, but I said hour number 1 would be great. Bryson Ventura, holy crap, V. Going after every clone in the field. Top 5 call easily. Hashtag Smackoff. It says, wow. Talk about losing something off the fastball. Jeff, you sucked. Now get back to your whole hog barbecue lunch and hang up the spurs, big fella. Tommy writes, I smell an upset in the air. I think we might have a first-time champ today. V getting a lot of positive run. All right, so that first hour already 100 times better than last year's first hour. Let's get it. It's Smackoff 29. We roll into hour number 2. Don't go anywhere.
Get ready to save with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering